Shit! I hate this fucking level!
Well, don't put yourself so deep in the seaweed and maybe you won't lose so much health.
What a piece of cowabunga shit!
I'm sure there was a need for you to bite down on the game and do that. Now, I could play the AVGN clip where the AVGN was reviewing that game, but I'm not going to.
Now, I'm not sure if the backlash of this game was overwhelming or what.
Well, believe it or not, there are people who do enjoy the game, and there are people who have beat it. That, and you didn't go in that depth of a review. You didn't mention the ropes in the game, where you can revive a turtle. You didn't review past the second level, except for the rooftop jumping. See, what else did you leave out? You left out the turtle van. You left out the power-ups, the sub-weapons, the pizzas, the mini-bosses, the bosses, the ending. Wow.
But soon after, they decided to release a sequel, and this time, they took it directly from the source of video game greatness.
In your opinion, I guess.
Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. Now we're talking, and they should have done this right from the start.
Well, maybe they were just trying to come out with an original game, instead of, they didn't want to just release the same exact thing they did in the arcade, so, release a different kind of game. So, it's not just the same stuff over again. I'm just rambling on.
So after popping the game in and starting, you'll find out that it's just another huge letdown.
How is it just another huge letdown? Because I played that game and it's actually pretty fun. Can you at least elaborate with this game and go into an in-depth review with actual good points and you just don't complain about graphics?
I mean, what the hell is this? This is the arcade game?
The NES version, yes.
What a pixelated nightmare! And in order to bring this game onto the NES, they had to strip it of every cool feature that made it fun. Flashy intro, gone.
Yes, because the intro is what made the game so great. Not the gameplay, not the, not anything else. The flashy intro was one of the main points that made it great, even though the NES isn't able to handle it.
Cool graphics, gone.
The NES one didn't have that bad of graphics. That and those arcade graphics, NES couldn't handle those.
4-player mode, gone.
Again, how many NES games do you know that are 4 players? Has a 4-player feature. That, and I doubt I could really get 4 people to play that game with me. I could probably get like 1, but I doubt 3 other people to play the game with me.
Oh, come on, and that was the best feature.
Don't you think gameplay would be a little bit more important? Like, I'd rather have a great single-player game than a horrible 4-player game.
So if all these things are missing, then where do they get off calling this the arcade game?
Because it has just about all the same enemies, almost all the same ending bosses. The layouts are designed the same. That's where they get off calling it, because the gameplay is somewhat alike. With different controllers, you gotta make do with what you can.
If they wanted to be honest about it, they should have called it Ninja Turtles 2, the suck-ass poor man's version of the arcade game, because that's exactly what it is.
I really have nothing to say about that. That was something really stupid to say, because all he said was, didn't go into the gameplay at all, he just said, no flashy intro, no arcade graphics, and no 4-player mode. Even though I think it has a 2-player mode. It's been a while since I played it.
Now in this game, you can only play a 1 or 2-player game.
Okay, sorry about the rambling earlier. Yeah, there is a 2-player feature. And, so there is a multiplayer feature. So you can play with, like, one other friend, which is probably all I could get to play that game with me.
And the worst part is that your turtle can only punch, kick, and drop kick.
Anyone watching this, feel free to correct me on this, but isn't that all you could do in the arcade game? Only they did it with like a little bit better graphics and it was a little bit more flashy when they did it in the arcade game.
For a game that takes over an hour to defeat, this gets very boring.
If all you're gonna do is complain about graphics, then yeah, it's gonna be boring. And at that point, turn off the NES and go play a next-gen system if that's all you care about is graphics. Or a four-player feature, then go play Call of Duty online, because that has like... Hey, Sarah, how much does Call of Duty have online with multiplayer?
16.
16. So, if you're so worried about multiplayer and graphics, go play Call of Duty. And before anyone says anything, no, I'm not comparing Call of Duty to an NES game. I'm not comparing it to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to the arcade game. I'm just saying that things it's complained about, flashy intro, uh, graphics, and multiplayer. Call of Duty has all that. So instead of complaining about this game, just go play that. It's that simple. Me personally, I'm not a fan of the Call of Duty franchise, and I probably never will be. But that's a better alternative.
And when you die, that's it. Game over.
Like in a lot of other games.
They don't even give you the option of continuing exactly where you left off, like in the original arcade game. Instead, they give you the option to restart at the beginning of the level.
Let me just explain something here. Alright. When you play the game, you're given your standard life bar, which is pretty good. Not too short, but it's not so long to where you breeze through the levels and you can pretty much take damage from everybody. And you're given 3 rests. When you lose all your HP, you start again from that exact spot with that rest. But if you run out of all your rest, then you're given a continue, which starts you at the beginning of the stage. But when you run out of continues, then you have to start the game over. It's not like an arcade game where you just keep putting quarters in and getting extra lives. This is the NES. Something completely different.
Ugh, what a piece of shit.
In your opinion. My opinion, I thought it was a pretty good game. But that's just my opinion.
Another annoying thing is this product placement bullshit.
That's because a game that has advertisements makes it bad. A good example of this would be in Jak 2, when you might, like when roaming around Haven City, you'll find a poster of Ratchet and Clank 2. Or in Ratchet and Clank 2 Going Commando, at the start screen, they've advertised Sly 1, Ratchet and Clank 1, Jak 2, and I believe Jak 1. But I thought that game was good. Again, I was just using that as an example. I wasn't comparing a bunch of PS2 games to an NES game. That's what you guys are thinking. Sorry if I gave that impression. Because I don't compare games unless they're in the same gen.
In almost every level of this game, you'll end up finding a logo for Pizza Hut. And I guess it's because the turtles eat pizza, right?
Well, the turtles did eat pizza quite a bit in the show. Because I did watch the show, actually. So yeah, that makes sense that there were Pizza Hut advertisements in the game, I guess, or product placement as you called it. And I guess this will be another good spot to stop the vid. And stay tuned for part 3. Oh boy.